Good morning, Rock Church fam. I want to invite you guys to go ahead and stand up and let's worship together.
I won't run away, even in valleys. Your presence is enough when I feel shaking. Oh, I will stay my ground. Oh, your presence is enough. Oh, you are with me. Father, you're for me, and fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone. I'm never abandoned. Oh, fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. When I feel the pressure, I won't run away, even in tension. Your presence is enough when I'm in the mystery. Oh, I will stand my ground. My God, you are enough. You are with me. Father, you're for me, and fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone. I'm never abandoned. Oh, fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. Lord, we love you. You love us. We thank you every single day for all that you've done in our lives, Lord. You make our days better every single day. When the floods came, when the wind blew, I was okay. You were right there. You're in every step I take. When the night falls, when my heart aches, if I stumble, I will not break. You'll be right there. You're in every step I take. When the rain fell, when the floods came, when the wind blew, I was okay. You were right there. You're in every step I take. When the night falls, when my heart aches, if I stumble, I will not break. You'll be right there. You're in every step I take. You're my shepherd, you're my keeper, my provider, my protector. You surround me. You're in every step I take. You're the goodness, you're the constant, you're my first love and my future. You surround me. You're in every step I take. Oh, you are with me. Father, you're for me, and they will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. I'm never alone. I'm never abandoned. But they will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus. You're my shepherd, you're my keeper, my provider, my protector. You surround me. You're in every step I take. You're the goodness, you're the constant, you're my first love, my whole future. You surround me. You're in every step I take. You are with me. Father, you're for me. Fear will never conquer me, 'cause I belong to Jesus.
Church. My name's Clay, and I'm one of the pastors here on staff, and I'm hanging out with Manchester, who is one of our managers here at C3. Love this dude. He's awesome. He does some great stuff. You'll often see him at a bunch of our different coffee bars all over Horry County, and we love having that as part of what we get to do, and we love that you are joining us today at service, whether you are in person, online, at J. Rubin, wherever you may be at. Thank you so much for joining us. And I especially want to say thank you for joining us if you are new here. I hope you have a great experience at the parking lot coming in, now that you're in the auditorium or watching online, however you may be doing that. We hope that you've had a great experience. And one of the ways that we want to add to your experience is through our coffee bars, which is a great ministry tool for us here at The Rock. And Austin Manchester is going to tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, so C3 Coffee Co. is owned by The Rock Church. We're open every day during the week except for Sundays now. However, for Sundays, we've now joined our teams. We've unified our teams from our everyday baristas that serve you throughout the week to now our amazing volunteers and baristas working one-on-one. So we still have free drinks available. We got draft latte, we got batch brew coffee, and we got hot chocolate available for free. That's going to be here forever for you.
Love that.
But then now we also include specialty drinks. So we have hot and iced lattes. We have cinnamon rolls, muffins, bagels. We got burritos. We got sandwiches. Everything that you could possibly think of that you would usually get over there at the coffee shop on Sunday is now provided here. So it saves you a trip.
Yep.
And also on the cold and rainy days when you don't want to make two stops,
yeah.
it's pretty perfect. This is something that's been a long time coming, and we're learning as we go. Things are changing here, so you'll see coffee placed in different areas, and we're changing our menu from time to time, providing more options. But yeah, we'll be down here every Sunday and every Thursday service.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, I've talked about my New Year's resolutions a little bit. This moving down here on Sundays has absolutely wrecked it because I am smashing bagels on the regular down here. Drinking coffee, like I can't stop. And I hope it's made it easier for you as well. And one of the cool things about C3, and I know you would agree with this, we've talked about this, it isn't just coffee. It isn't just us providing a service to people. It's something much bigger than that. If there's actually on the TV behind us, we can see that since we started C3, through our ministries and through our C3 coffee bars, we've been able to give $615,000 to local and global missions. And Manchester, I know you get to see that on the front lines by serving at the bar as a major factor of that. What's one thing you love about that?
Oh man, one thing I love the most about it is what C3 stands for. Many of you may not know, but C3 stands for Coffee, Community, and Conversation. We believe over a cup of coffee, you can strike up a conversation, and in that conversation, you build community. And it's just the building of that community. It allows our baristas to have one-on-one conversations with customers, but also it helps empower them to take that conversation outside the coffee bar and inside of other ministries in their lives.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's something great to be a part of. And it's a great reminder for all of us when it comes to giving, whether that is you're buying a cup of coffee and making an impact through that, or it's you're giving to the Lord through The Rock, through your giving, your tithe, and your generosity. You are making a difference whether you see it directly or you don't. And I love that about the church. I love that about what we do. I love that about our coffee bars, is that we are making a difference in our local and global communities, and you are a part of that. So if you ever want to learn more about that, the best place for you to do that is through our app to give. It's very simple, very easy. And then anytime you're at the coffee bar, like come get a drink, come buy a muffin, buy a burrito, and you will be making a difference in the world. I mean, I think that's pretty sweet. Like I eat a lot of burritos. The fact that this burrito at least makes someone else's life better and not just ruins my cholesterol, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. So guys, I hope you've had a great morning or evening so far. Thank you so much for joining us today here at The Rock. We're going to continue on with worship, so why don't you guys stand, slap someone's hand, and we'll continue on.
Church, let's continue to worship the King this morning.
There's a place where your heart is on fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look in the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I'll never be alone. that you are in the battle with us. You are in the trenches with us. Father, we love you. And I pray that we just lay it all at your feet today. All things have passed away. Your love has stayed the same. Your constant grace remains the cornerstone. Things that we thought were dead are breathing in life again. You cause your sun to shine on darkest night. All that you've done, we will pour out. Our love, this will be our anthem song. Jesus, we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the one our hearts adore. Hopeless have found their hope. The orphans now have found. All that was lost has found its place in you. You live
Jesus, we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the one our hearts adore. Just continue to sing that over him this morning. Jesus, we love you. Yes, we do, Jesus. Oh, how we love you. You are the one our hearts adore.
I want you to just to think about those words. Jesus, I love you, that you are the one our hearts adore, that with all my affection, with all my devotion, hold on to those words, because we're going to talk about them a lot this morning. And it is my prayer that they're not just words, it's not just a melody that we kind of lift up to the ceiling, but it's truly an act of worship where we are saying, Jesus, we love you. That my affection, my adoration, I'm giving it all to you. Pray with me. Jesus, we come before you right now, and we thank you that we can gather like this. We thank you for you being here in our midst. And Lord, I pray that our words would be satisfying to you. I pray that our words would not just be empty lyrics, but heart's confessions. Lord, I pray that you would do work in our midst and that we would respond to you and that we would do what you call us to do. In your name, Jesus, amen. Amen. Well, Rock Church, how are you guys doing today? You good? Good out there? It's good to see you guys. I want to welcome everybody here at our Conway campus, and I want to take a second. I want to welcome everybody who's listening in Spanish right now, because it's at this hour that we have Spanish available for those who are listening. So for those of you here in Conway, would you just give it up for everybody who's listening in Spanish right now? We're thankful that you are with us and that you're part of our church, all right? Now, if you're new with us, I want to encourage you to take a moment and get connected. Like I know it takes a lot to go to a church for the first time ever. So if that's you today, man, thank you. But we would ask you to take one more step, and that's make sure you get connected. And you can do that. Maybe you stopped at your New Here 10 on the way in, or use that QR code in front of you and just let us know that you're here, or stop by the Connect wall on your way out, as we've got a free t-shirt for you there that we would love to just give you and welcome you to church, all right? Now, we're going to dive back in this series that we've been in. It's called Win the Day, and I want to do that by starting with a question that I want everybody to think through for a second. You don't have to answer it out loud or anything like that, but at least think about it. What do you love more? Like, that's where it starts, and I know you're like, more than what, Josh? But what do you love more? Let me give you a couple. What do you love more, the donut or the scale? How many of y'all are donut people with me? Yeah, amen, right? And if you love the donut more than you love the scale, here's what it means. I'll eat the donut and avoid the scale. Right? Like you're like, I want nothing to do with that thing. Now, if you love the scale more than the donut, you'll say no to the donut because you know you're going to get on the scale later. Let's try another one. What do you love more, the snooze or the scriptures? I'm proud of you. I don't know who said snooze. I saw one guy, and I heard somebody over here. 4 services. This is the 4th service now. Nobody has been bold enough to admit it. Oh, we got some people going, scriptures. Amen. I'm proud of them for that. Others just chuckling, going, caught me. So you just admitted it. That's the first step in recovery, okay? But right, like if you love the snooze more than the scriptures, you're just going to keep hitting that snooze button until you don't have time to get into the scriptures. But if you love the scriptures more than the snooze, then you know I got to quit hitting snooze because I got to get up and I got to read. Right? Now, I'll be honest, I'm a one snooze guy. Every morning, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to hit snooze one time. But I still get up with enough time to get into the scriptures. Here's another one, and I don't know if everybody will get this one, but I know there's a couple of you in the room that will. Do you love the pillow or the pavement more? Now, some of you are like, I don't get it. I just love the pillow because I don't understand what you mean by the pavement. But if you're a person who runs or bikes or hits the gym or trains in the morning, you get it. Because what you have to convince yourself of is I've got to get out of bed. I've got to go hit the pavement. Me, I love the pillow because I'm going to get the donut later. Right? This is what I believe. Whatever you love more, that's what's going to win that day. Whatever you love more. Whatever you love more, that's what's going to win at the end of the day. And if that's true, then we need to make sure that we love God more than anything else. Because if we love God more than anything else, then at the end of the day, God's going to win in our lives. God's going to win no matter what. But when we love God more than anything else, in the end, we're going to win because we're going to allow God to work through us and live in us. That's what I want to challenge you with today. That's actually been our whole series. That we've said, if you want to win this year, if you want to stop doing some of the bad things, you want to start doing some of those good things, you want to live on budget, or you want to have good relationships, you want to win this year, you got to win the month. To win the month, you got to win the week. To win the week, you got to win the day. And we win the day. The process of winning the day is to fear God. That we say we have a holy, humble, honest fear of God that is marked by respect and reverence and obedience and awe. We've been saying that each week, that because it comes straight from a passage we've been studying. In Deuteronomy chapter 10, Moses is giving a farewell address to the Israelites, and he's saying, y'all are getting ready to head into the promised land. Here's some words of encouragement to live by. And then this is what he says. He says, and now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you but to fear the Lord your God and to walk in obedience with him? That week 1, we talked about fearing the Lord. In week 2, we talked about walking in obedience. Today, we're going to hit the next part. It says this, and then to love him and to serve the Lord your God with all of your heart and with all of your soul. That if I'm going to fear God, it's going to be marked by walking with him, by loving him, and by serving him. Next week, we'll talk about serving him. Today, let's just focus on this idea of loving him with all of your heart and with all of your soul. Now, this isn't the first time Moses ever said this. He actually said it earlier to the Israelites. We have it recorded in chapter 6. It says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart and with all of your soul and with all of your strength." That what Moses is getting at is, let's make sure we're loving God. Now, reality is, first, we got to answer, who is your God? Who is my God? That I want to say that it's Yahweh God, the God that Moses is talking about here. But the reality is, oftentimes, I bring other gods into my life, other masters, other lords. It might be success. It might be money. It might be relationships. It might be an ideology. It might be my identity. It could be any of these things that sometimes we set them up. We set ourselves up as God rather than the one true God. Let's make sure we have the one true God in our life and that we're loving him with everything, that we're loving him with our heart and our soul and our strength. Like, what does that look like? Let me give you this illustration. This is what they call a Venn diagram. And if you understand a Venn diagram, it's when you take three different things, whatever they might be, and you bring them together, because the idea is you take three separate ideas, pull them together, and it'll help you find how they connect. And I think what Moses has given us here is he's saying, love the Lord your God with all of your heart. Love him with all of your strength. Love him with all of your soul. Well, how do we do that? How do we bring these three different concepts together into one identity or one idea? Well, I think to do that, we got to figure out, well, what does it even mean to love God with all of your heart? I'd like to say it this way, to love him with all of your heart, well, it means to love him with your desire. Think about the song we just got done singing, that we talked about desire, that we said that I adore you, that I love you with all of my affection, that we're saying I desire you, God. And when we love something, it is natural to desire it, whether it's something or someone, right? Like, there are a couple things in my life I love. Many of y'all know this. I love Diet Coke and I love golf. And I desire them. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, and the very next thing is a Diet Coke. And I know some of you are like that early? Yes. That's the best way to start a day, Brooke. Don't give me that look, right? And I know, for instance, I know I'm coming to church this morning. I know I'm going to preach through 3 services. So I got to make sure I bring enough Diet Coke with me to make it through the morning, which is 4 cans. And my 5th will start after I'm done preaching. Because I desire, and I know some of you are like, you're insane. I am. I get it, okay? I desire it. Same with golf. I love golf. So I desire to play golf. I desire to practice golf. I desire to watch golf. I desire to buy golf equipment that I don't even need. But there's just something about it. And you can probably think of things that you love, and you could probably fill in the blanks as well. Or even thinking about people. Like, you have friends that you love. Well, you should desire to hang out with them. That you have maybe a boyfriend or girlfriend that you love. Well, you should desire to be with them. That you're married. If you're married, you should desire to be with your spouse. And if you don't desire to be with your spouse, there's issues, right? Like, someone might say, well, on the day we got married, I told her I loved her and I kissed her. Isn't that enough? That marriage is going to be in difficult situation, right? There should be desire. And the same holds true with God, that we should desire to be with God, to be in his presence. Moses said this, and again, Moses is the one who wrote Deuteronomy. Before he was at the end of his life, there was a time that God said, hey, Moses, I want you to go with the Israelites. And he's like, all right, God, I'll go, but I'll only go if you go with me because I desire your presence. Look at what it says. It says, how will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go with us? What else will distinguish me and your people from all the other people on the face of the earth? And the Lord said to Moses, I will do the very thing you have asked because I am pleased with you and I know you by name. Then Moses said, now show me your glory. He's saying, God, just show yourself. God, I desire to be in your presence. We see this also lived out in the King David, who wrote some Psalms that we have recorded in the Bible. David said this, he said, one thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in the temple. He also said in Psalm 63, you, God, are my God. Earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole body longs, my being longs for you in a dry and parched land where there is no water. I have seen you in your sanctuary. I have beheld your power and your glory, because your love is better than life. My lips will glorify you. That David is saying, I just long to be in your presence. I long to be in your sanctuary. I long to be around you. I desire you, God. And we should have that same desire. We should desire being with God, longing for God more than we desire anything else. Maybe the best way for me to illustrate this is just to let you hear from a guy named Darren. Darren is a friend of mine who is part of our Regen ministry, which is a discipleship program based on recovery. All right, and in it, he gave his testimony one day, and we captured it on film. And I just want you to hear from him, because what you're going to see is how he went from a desire for alcohol into a desire for God. Check out his story.
Hi, my name is Darren, and I have a new life in Christ. Now, alcoholism is one of the struggles that I've had in my life. And when I first got into the recovery program, I heard about step one, which said admit over my addictions, my brokenness, and my sinful behaviors. And that in my own power, my life is unmanageable. And for years, I struggled with that because of my own sinful natures, my pride and my ego. You can do this on your own. You can figure this out. You don't need to get help. You don't need to talk about this. As a man, they say, we don't ever talk about weakness. We just got to try harder, and we can fix these things. And it's been about 5 years of struggling and continually tearing up things in my life. And I finally got to a point where, in Romans it tells us that, I have a desire to do what's right, but I don't have the power to do it on my own. And I got to a point where I was just completely broken and quite frankly ready to quit. It was in that brokenness, I call it now my gift of desperation, because I was able to cry out. It told me that God loved me so much that he sent his son to die for me. And I think it was the reality, if he died for me, won't he be here to help me? In Revelations, they talk about, I stand at the door and I knock, and it's a picture of Jesus asking for an invitation to come in. And I always wanted this ninja God who's going to break down the door, but he waits for that quiet invitation where I cry out and say, I'm not okay. God, I need help. And when I did that, everything changed. And here I am 30-some plus years later, living a life I could have never dreamed, because I've got a God who loves me so much that he stepped in where I couldn't. And he made the changes that I couldn't, just because I was willing to ask for help and to submit to him and his will. Just don't miss the journey. No matter what your problem is, there's help and there's hope in Jesus Christ.
Darren, he was at our first hour, and I asked him, how many years has it been? It's 35 years sober. 35 years. And that's worth celebrating. Just like we'd celebrate the person who said 14 days, and then 15 days, and then 3 months. But what I want you to hear in Darren's story is he had a desire for alcohol and some other things. And he traded in that desire and said, I'm going to desire after God. And there's probably some things in our life that if you were honest right now, we'd say, I've been desiring this more than I desire God. And if we really want to love God with all of our heart, then what we have to say is, I desire God more than anything else. I love him with all of my heart. But I don't want to stop just right there, right? Like that's a great starting point. But if we think, okay, I got it. Nope, you've only got one circle so far. That Moses said, I got to love him with all of my heart, my desire, but I also have to love him with all of my soul, all of my devotion. Because desire on its own can be fleeting, right? It can be up and down. All you got to do is look at a middle school relationship, right? I have a friend. His name is Milo. And some of you might know Milo. Milo is an elementary student. He's actually a child of one of our pastors. And Milo helps me illustrate this idea between desire and devotion. Milo has more girlfriends in a day than I have Diet Cokes. Because every time a girl walks in the room, Milo's like, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? And he's a cute little kid, and he's always going after the older women. And so they'll be like, sure. And then he'll start talking to him, and another girl will come in. He's like, see ya. You want to be my girlfriend? And that's cute in an elementary kid. That's not cute when it comes to our relationship with God. That we got to be devoted. We got to be all in. Some of us get this because of the football teams we support. See, some of us are very devoted when it comes to football. All I got to do is say Dallas Cowboys. And some of you, as soon as I say Dallas Cowboys, you're booing, you're shaking your head. You are devoted to hating the Dallas Cowboys. You are. But then I'll speak to those of you who are Dallas Cowboys fans. And I'm not doing this to put salt in the wound. I'm not, okay? But you're devoted because you know every year during the regular season, we good. And then the playoff starts, right? Like it truly does take devotion. Here's another one, the Detroit Lions. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you are devoted because you have endured 30 years of suck, right? It's like being a Chicago Cubs fan. If you're a Cubs fan, any Cubs fans? Got to remember, I lived in Illinois forever, right? It's 100 years of suck, and you win a World Series, and then you get another 100 years. Devotion. What would it look like if we were devoted to God like the way some of us are devoted to our sports teams? Here's why I say that. If you are truly devoted to your sports team, you're in. On the good days, the bad days, the victories, the losses. Oh, you might complain about them a little bit, but you're still in because that's my team. What would it look like if when it came to our relationship with God, that we loved him with all of our soul, all of our life, that we said, God, I'm in. I'm in, come hell or high water, mountains, valleys, good days, bad days. I'm in, God, I'm all in. That's what devotion looks like. And that's what Jesus demands. Not ask. That's what he demands of us. Jesus said this. We have it recorded in the book of Matthew. Jesus said, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for me will find it. Here's what he means by that. Anyone who's willing to give up their life, if they're willing to pick up that cross and put it on their shoulders and say, I'm done, I'm all in, Jesus, I'll go wherever you call me to go, I'll do whatever you call me to do, because you are the one I love. I love you more than I love my own life. Some people didn't like that and they walked away from Jesus. There were other things Jesus said that, and when he said it, people were like, I'm done, that you're asking too much. One time he was talking and people started walking away, and Jesus turned to his apostles, his 12 disciples who were really close to him. And he said, do you want to leave? This is what it says. John 6 says, you do not want to leave too, do you? And Jesus asked the 12. And Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of life. Like where would we go, Jesus? You're it. That there's nothing better out there. That I'm all in. Peter said, I'm all in. And outside of a couple hour window on the night that Jesus was being crucified, Peter just walked with Jesus. That to the point at the end of Jesus, or at the end of Peter's life, he was crucified in a like manner that Jesus was. He said, Jesus, I'm all in. I'm devoted. See, I want us to love God with all of our hearts, our desire. I want us to love God with all of our soul, our life, which is our devotion. But then I want you to add one more to it. And the one more we want to add is this, is that I want to love God with my strength. That I love God with my heart. I love God with my devotion. And then I love God with my strength. And when it comes to strength, what we're really saying there is my discipline. It's not enough just to have desire and devotion. We also have to have discipline. And what I have found in life is that we could all use a little more discipline in our life. I know I could. There's some areas of my life that I'm pretty disciplined. And then there's some areas I'm not. And I can tell you in my own house, I am definitely not the most disciplined person. My son, Tate, my youngest son, Tate, he is the most disciplined person, probably in the Finkley family. I think I'm confident that I could say that. And let me illustrate it and explain why. That Tate, if you don't know our story, Tate was adopted when he was very young. That he's from the country of Haiti. He was malnutritioned, had rough child, couple years of life. And then once he came home, he was with us, and he started going through his elementary years. Maybe the best way I could say it was he was no longer malnutritioned. He liked to eat, if I can say it that way. And I had a friend who encouraged him to eat. That she would pick him up after school. She was kind of like it was a friend, so I wouldn't call it a babysitter, but she would watch our kids for a couple hours after school. And every day I'd be like, Becky, you got to quit giving him peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwiches. And she's like, Josh, I know what happened to him when he was a child. If that kid wants peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, he's getting as much as his heart desires. And I'm the one picking him up after school, so deal with it. Yes, ma'am. Well, going into 6th grade, Tate came to me one day and he said, Dad, I'm done. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm done, I'm fat. He goes, I'm losing weight. And, he's a child, so, I'm being very careful when he's saying things like that and trying to encourage him. So, just being very careful how I walk through that conversation. But he was overweight. That he was going into 6th grade, he weighed 220 pounds and wasn't 5 foot tall. Okay? Let me show you a picture of him. That's Tate going into 6th grade. That's Tate graduating from high school. You can see the transformation, right? Like transformation here and transformation here, right? And then honestly, Tate lost all that weight. At those pictures, he weighed the exact same. The weight was just shaped a little different. Then he went to college at Coastal and played football. His first day of practice, his defensive line coach looked at him and said, son, we got to put 40 pounds on you. And he's like, oh, man, not again. But sure enough, by the end of his freshman year, he had the freshman 40. They put 40 pounds on him. And that was his playing weight. And the day he had his last practice, he hung up his helmet. He came home, and he goes, well, that was it. And I was like, yeah, you going to miss it? He goes, yeah. He goes, I ain't going to miss this body, though. He goes, it happens today. It starts today. And sure enough, within 6 months, he was back down to that size. How? Discipline. He wakes up at 4 in the morning. He goes to the gym. He comes home, and he eats a healthy breakfast. He fixes a lunch. He goes and he works a 10-hour-a-day construction job, gets off at the end of the day, goes to the gym, works out. When he comes home, he then eats a healthy dinner. The other day, he's eating skinless chicken while I'm eating Chipotle. Discipline. That's what it takes. You want to be healthy physically? Discipline. Devotion also. Desire also, but it's going to take some discipline. Some of us, we need to hear that today. You got a bad health report. You know you got bad sugar, bad cholesterol, maybe high blood pressure. The doctor's been telling you what to do. Discipline. That maybe it's finances. You want to get better at your finances. Discipline. It's going to take some discipline. That you're going to have to honor the Lord. You're going to have to live on a budget. You're going to have to do what is right. Maybe there's an addiction. Discipline. Maybe there's a sin habit. Maybe it's not an addiction, but it's a sin habit. Maybe it's things you're saying with your mouth, or maybe some gossip, or maybe some just sin habits. Discipline. Look at what Paul said. He said, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body. I make it my slave so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified from the prize. That Paul is saying, I am disciplined. That I am saying no to sin. I am saying no to self. I'm saying no to my own ideologies. I'm saying no to my own wants. I'm saying yes to God. And if you want to see things get better in your life, if you want to win the day, then it's going to take discipline. But it's also going to take desire. And it's also going to take devotion. See, the reality is you can't have one without the other, because one without the other will leave you short-sighted and you'll lose. But when you take all three and you bring them together, that's when you can win the day. That's when you can win the day with your finances. That's when you can win the day with your relationships. That's when you can win the day with bad sin habits. That's when you can win the day with doing godly things that he wants you to do. That's when you can win the day in following Jesus. It's bringing all three together. On their own actually leads to failure. Let me illustrate. If I have desire, but no discipline, like I have a desire for God, but no discipline, then reality is I'm nothing more than a fan. I'm just a fan. Like I'm in until I'm not. Like, God, I'm with you until I take a loss. That it's a good day, God, you're there. It's a bad day, I'm out. You're just a fan if all you have is heart and no devotion or discipline. Or maybe another way to say it that's even worse is I'm infatuated. And if you know, infatuation is fine for a little while. But it's not healthy long term. I don't want to be a fan of Jesus. I don't want to be infatuated with Jesus. But that's what happens if all I have is desire. Or how about this? What if I have discipline but no desire? Let's flip it. If I have discipline and no desire, here's what I actually have. Apathy. I'm just apathetic. I'm religious. I'm doing the right things. I'm going to church. I'm reading my Bible. I'm saying a prayer that I'm giving a little and serving a little. But if I have no relationship, no desire for God, then I'm just apathetic, which will cause me to be apathetic towards Jesus, but also it'll make me apathetic towards others. That's dangerous. Or what if I have devotion but no discipline? Like if I say, I'm all in, but I'm not willing to spend time with God. I'm not willing to read the scriptures. Or I'm all in, but I constantly dive into sin. Here's what it means, and this is not, you won't like this. It means you're lazy. It means I'm lazy. That if I have devotion but no discipline, if I'm not willing to put in the hard work, then I'm just lazy. And I can tell you what I don't want is the day that I find myself in heaven. I don't want to hear Jesus look at me and say, oh yeah, I know that you had a little bit of desire for me, but you had no discipline. You were devoted, like you said you were in, but you were not in on a daily basis. You had no discipline. Get away from me, lazy servant. I don't want Jesus to look at me and say, oh, you had some desire. Man, thank you for being a fan and waving that flag for me. But you weren't devoted. Get away. See, if I only have one of these, if I don't bring all three in, then I'm leaving myself short-sighted. And it's going to lead to failure. But when I bring all three, when I have desire and devotion and discipline, here's what it does. It helps me to be a follower of Jesus. A follower who at the end of my life, Jesus is going to say, well done, good and faithful servant. And that's what I want. And I hope it's what we all want. That will say, God, I want to love you with everything. And I'm going to give you an opportunity right now. Let's follow Jesus' example. Because see, we see Jesus hitting all three of those. We see Jesus in that sweet spot. Because Jesus had desire for the Father. He was devoted to the plan and he was disciplined to carry it out. Let's follow in his footsteps. Why don't you do me a favor? Let's stand together. And we're going to go into a time of response. And during this time, take steps. And oftentimes I'll say, maybe you need to take that step, or maybe you need to take that step. I'm going to tell you this morning, take 3 steps today. A step of desire, a step of devotion, and a step of discipline. And say, Jesus, I'm going to love you more than anything. Because I'm going to love you with all of my heart, and with all of my soul, and with all of my strength. As we sing this song and as you declare, Jesus, I love you, then let's mean it. Not a lyric going up to a ceiling, but a confession of the heart that is real. Jesus, I love you. Let's take 3 steps today.
I love you, Lord. For your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I want to sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You were close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. I have lived
Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of your goodness. I'm returning to the secret place, just an altar and a flame. Love is found here in our sacred space. I hear your voice, I see your face. You're still my first love. You're still my only word. You're still my first love. You're still my only word. There's a table just for you and me. Break the bread and pour the wine. Perfect union, nothing in between. I am yours and you are mine. You're still my first love. You're still my only word. You're still my first love. Church, can we just lift our hands today? I don't know what you came in here with, but I know that we serve a God who loves us so much that he would send his son to die on a cross for us so that we could live in eternity. There's no greater love. We get the chance to declare our love for him back today through worship. So let's do that. Your temple, fill me with fire, a living sacrifice on your altar. You keep me burning. I'll pledge my life to you. I'm your temple, fill me with fire.
Rock Church, it has been awesome worshiping with you this morning. If you've made any sort of decisions or if you're new here, please stop by the Connect wall on your way out. We would love to talk with you about any upcoming events, if you have any questions, any prayer requests or anything like that. And then, of course, if you're new, we have a free gift waiting there for you. We would love to connect with you and introduce ourselves to you. But guys, we love you, we thank you, and I hope y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
to come along. Your lips instigating what we've done.
I told him, get back, don't touch me, I got it. Deep in the woods, I'm ducked off in a cottage. I'd rather keep it in-house like it's grounded. I'm letting loose if I'm ever surrounded. I sacrifice just to show that I'm solid. If God in control, then why he allow it? Pressure make damage, you know how we rockin'. Characters, how you act when it's chaotic. I know the difference from molehills and mountains. You counted me out cause you not good at counting. Don't handle the money cause you bad with numbers. You not good with math, so your grace steady falling. I don't want trouble, but ready to rumble. My brothers come running whenever I call them. Thought I was finished, but I'm too resilient to keep it a trillion. I'm just getting started, I just keep on rolling, I just keep on rolling. I keep getting better, I keep getting stronger. Arms getting swollen from gym every morning. At first I didn't see it, but I kept on going. God told me sit back and know what they posting. Just look at they fruit, cause that's how you gon' know them. Most of you dead to me, cause you ain't growing. I hop on the beat and start running like Noah. I manifest while I beat on my chest. I'm a soldier, a soldier, a soldier, a soldier. I'm a soldier, left a message on red like October. I'm the grandson of Isaiah Moses. God put me to the side and said, don't tell them lies, you can't be like them cause you were chosen. From the swamp like, ooh, that's a nice boulder. I'm a hot boy, but somehow I'm colder. Your words don't mean nothing, it's on the 3 dots like it's loaded.
This ain't entertainment, no. They don't care if you rap or you famous. Automatic the shot when I aim it, you can't see the picture, get Tony to paint it. In the trenches, I'm stepping, it's dangerous. Lot of people not what they be claiming. Lot of birds in the trap and they singing. I seen them come clean up the block like it's maintenance. Sanitizing the scene and them boys in all white like they got it. I told them get back, don't touch me, I'm bout it. I keep it on me, but don't promote violence. He tried to take something out, his sold out his body. Ask who the realest, we who they acknowledge. Versus grade A, but I didn't go to college. They say the weakest is always the loudest. I'm flexing my muscle whenever I'm quiet. They might start a riot, you losing like dice. I'm winning beginning, I'm just getting to it. Never mistake it, they said I could make it. By the time I was 10, I had already knew it. Had conversations with Dub in the basement, that mean in the bottom like Nike, just do it. I just keep on rolling, I just keep on rolling. I keep getting better, I keep getting stronger. Keep going longer, we swerving Daytonas. We got it forever, just not for a moment. Keep having visions, you made bad decisions, but you cannot quit it. How bad do you want it? Pain on my neck and my wrist, and they like when it glisten. I work hard for this, so I flown it. No leasing, I own it. I told you I'm on it. A soldier, I told you, I told him. Jeez.